Hi, this is Lisa Schmid with the Stamper Studio and Dave, welcoming you to New in the Studio. It's Monday night. Every Monday night we do a broadcast called New in the Studio at 7 o'clock. And sometimes it's something new, maybe to me, or maybe it's something just I want to show you, so it's just new. All right. Tonight I'm going to feature the Jar of Flowers bundle. And the reason I want to feature that for you is because right now it is sold in a bundle, which means the stamp set and the punch are sold together, and you save about $4. In the new catalog, it's not going to be sold together. It's still available, it's not sold together. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what's here. So the Jar of Flowers has these beautiful flowers. They are just, I love the sunflowers, probably my favorite. Tulips are a close second. These and these are just beautiful. We've got the stems. We've got two different jars. And then I'll show you what this is. This is just the back of that stamp. So if you just wanted a solid stamp, we've got the lid, and then there's some little stripes for decoration there. So let me show you. Oh, those are straws. I missed it. Those are straws. Good catch. Okay, so the card I want to make tonight, I want to show you, is how to make this kind of cool card. It sort of sets up like that. So it comes like you'd send it like this and maybe put even a little message on it. I mean, there's a message right there, but isn't that fun? So it stands up. Let me turn it this way so you can see. Look at that. Isn't that so fun? It stands up. So I'm going to show you how to make this card using Jar of Flowers, and I was thinking this could certainly use some Wink of Stella here. That's just one thing I didn't put on it, and I was like, oh, it needs a little glitz, a little bit of shimmer on there. So you see that little bit of shimmer? So fun. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make this card. I just love that it just sits like that. It's so cute. I am using Granny Apple Green for my background, my standard 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I am using our the Timeless, In Good Taste Designer Series paper, and good news, this is staying. I'm so excited. I've shown this to you many times, but look at this. In Good Taste is all those nice, like, textury backgrounds. Isn't that so fun? I just love the brick and the wood, and look at that. It feels like, it looks like it's going to pop up in the tile there. So that is In Good Taste. Super, super fun set. All right, so that's where this paper comes from. And you're going to cut a piece of paper. I cut another one. Here we go. Here it is. I was going to say I did one so I could show you the exact measurements. So I cut it at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I scored it at 1/2 inch right there. And then I scored it at 2 1/2. These numbers, this could be any size. There's nothing magical about the sizes I'm using. Okay, so it's blinking again, Dave. So I wanted this to be tucked under here though, like that. So that's, because that's my little stand, right? So I'm going to put adhesive on here, and then, let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put this kind of in the middle is my goal. Stick that in the middle. And now I'm going to go ahead and stick this whole thing onto that other Granny Apple Green. So let's do that. I try to get corner to corner because I really want it to stay down. And I usually do a little bit in the middle. All right. So there's our Granny Apple. That's our background. There we go. Okay. And this is the piece that's going to stick up. So now we've got our white piece. This is 4 by 2 3/4. 4 by 2 3/4. And what I did is I cut it this width, 4, and I wanted it to go inside this. Now I'm noticing right here, see that little white? I don't want that. I don't want that white to show. So I'm just going to trim that piece a hair so that it doesn't show right there. There we go. Because we do not want... I do not want that little white to show. So I just wanted it to be narrower than the green so it would fit underneath, okay? This is the piece I'm going to stamp on, and I'm stamping it using the Ornate Thanks, which is also still going to be in the catalog. It's so pretty. I haven't used it very often with you, but look at this. Thank you, so grateful, and thanks. Okay, those are kind of the big focal points. But look, my friend, seriously, thank you. Seriously, so grateful. Ever so much. I'm so grateful from the bottom of my heart. I wasn't sure how to thank you for everything. Just wanted to say thanks. Your kindness is so loved. You made my day. So here's a card. You are amazing. There's some great sentiments on here, and I just had not used it very often. So that is Ornate Thanks. Can I give you the number to that, Dave? Ornate Thanks. It is 149471. All right, and I'm going to stamp that right on the bottom. I'm just going to grab my little pad here, because whenever I use photopolymer, I do want to use this little pad. It's not in the catalog. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to move it over. Do you see that? So I'm going to clean this off quick. We'll just clean that off, and then we can go ahead and move it over. We want to make sure it fits on the block, or fits on the paper that I have there. So I'm just going to move those words over a little bit. Yeah, I think that, yep, that'll work fine. Okay, I'm stamping in espresso. There we go. Okay, nice. That looks great. And I'm cleaning with my little chamois here. Look how it looks really dirty, but it is not. When you clean it off, look. Ooh. I debated on doing that or not, but that's okay. We're just going to keep going because my flowers, that's okay. My flowers are going to be so pretty you won't even notice. All right, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to stamp. Oh, that's my inside piece, so I am going to restamp that. You know, oh, no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay, then we have our front of our card, and we are doing that just a 1/4 inch smaller than this. So we're going to need to trim that just a hair. Let's go ahead and trim this. And go ahead and trim that a little bit. See if that looks good. Honestly, sometimes that's just how I sometimes don't measure. I just kind of keep going until I feel like it's a good fit. And that looks great. Okay, so this can be any size also. We're going to go ahead and stamp our vase and our flower on this. So the stems. So I'm going to stamp the stems in Granny Apple Green here. And if you remember the other day, I told you, and the image I had wasn't, didn't have enough ink on it, but this just has water in it. It's one of our water painters. They come in you get 3 brushes, and they're all different, get those off, all different size tips from thick to medium to thin. I'm using the thin one, and I'm just going to I didn't add any more ink, but it is moving it around. That's what I was showing you the other day, but it didn't seem to work, so I must not have had enough ink on the stamp. But just kind of mix it up. And then I'm going to stamp, I'm going to use the sunflowers, because I just think they are oh so pretty. Let's use, oops, can you see if the sunflowers are over there? I think they are.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane. How are you, my friend? So we're going to go ahead and stamp the sunflowers. I just think those are so pretty. I'm going to stamp them again in the early espresso. So let's go ahead and grab that. And I'm not too worried about where the flowers meet the stems because I'm going to put a ribbon there. So if they overlap a little bit, it just doesn't even matter. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Dave's laughing at me. All right, so I'm going to color a little bit and show you why I love our Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the I'm going to use the dark daffodil on the inside of these flowers, kind of like here. And you'll see I don't really color slowly, or I don't try to be carefully. Well, I just don't need to. That's why. All right, so I'm going to color the inside is going to be dark, and then the outside I'm going to use the light Daffodil Delight, and that's out here. And you will be able to see the dark stand out just a little bit more. When I'm done, you'll be able to see that.
Hey, Deb.
Hi, Deb. Sunflowers. Love this jar of flowers stamp set. All right, so, and then if I want to, I could go back and make the other one, the darker yellow even darker. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make this little flower here. It is going to be light balmy blue, just to add some blue. And this flower I'm going to make blue also, just because I can. I don't know, it's pretty. And then for the green, I'm going to use the light old olive for all the green. So all of this, just going to kind of color that in. If it goes outside the lines, you could use your the tool that pulls it off, or the blender pen that pulls it off, but I'm just going to not worry about it. I had one more color. Oh, right, this is going to be blue over here as well. These little flowers here, just add a little bit. And this, blue, blue, blue. So pretty. What did you say? It gets better, right? It never goes away, but gets easier? What are we talking about? Diane, what are we talking about there? All right, I'm doing the leaves. And here, there's some more leaves. There we go. Now I noticed I missed this whole little piece of yellow here, and that was the lighter yellow, so I'm just going to go back and add a little yellow there. Boom, done. Okay, isn't that pretty? So what we're going to do is take this piece and we're going to attach it just to the front of this fold right here. Okay, I'm just going to attach it right there. Oops, I think I'm going to put it on yellow first and then on there. That's what I'm going to do. My yellow is crooked. I don't know, I'm having issues with paper tonight, but I need to get my paper cutter sharpened is part of my issue. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh.
Hang in there.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going. Maybe this will cheer you up just a little bit for right now, for a few moments. So I'm going to put adhesive here because I'm going to put it from like my finger down. And I did put the size on the back of that because that was a place to put it that you wouldn't notice. Let's get rid of that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on, leaving a border on all sides. Now, remember that this one that I stamped? Those are my words. And I'm going to put that right under here. And I'm going to show you a little trick to keep that there. So let's go ahead and stamp that, or adhere that on. My little words. And these really could be any sizes. You just want the paper to be a little bit smaller. Okay, now there's two things. I forgot to color the centers. For the centers, I'm using ivory is what it's called. It's a really nice light, it almost looks brown to me. So to me, that's a perfect color for the centers. Yeah, so pretty. All right, so what I'm going to do for the little flower right here, you could fussy cut a flower. Okay, so we could cut a flower, but I don't want to cut a flower. I am going to stamp and then die cut a flower. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of paper here and stamp my flowers. And I think, oops, that did not stamp very well. Must need more ink on my pad. There we go, much better. All right, this is the flower that's the most full, if you know what I mean. This one's at an angle, this cuts off, so I'm going to use that flower, and I'm going to use our circle dies, layering circle framelits, and I'm taking the smallest, not smallest, maybe smallest, I don't remember. I think this one right here. I think it's this one, and just lay it on top of here and die cut it out. Now, of course, I could cut it, but when I die cut it out like that, it just looks good enough. I have it here somewhere. Those little pieces always get lost. I should like stick them to my forehead or something. So I'll show you what that looks like when we're done. Oopsie. So I die cut it out, and look, I mean, yes, it's not perfectly cut around it, but that's okay. And then it holds it just like that. Just like that. Isn't that so fun? I think so. I want to show you a couple things, other things with these. Oh, here it is right here. There it is. So it's not perfectly around the edge, but it's certainly enough. I'm going to show you a couple other things using the using this jar of flowers and the punch. because I didn't use the punch on this one, and I definitely want to show you how you could use the punch. Now, I can stamp the punch just on a scrap of white and then punch it out. So let's just do that. So I'm going to use basic gray on this. I think the black is a little harsh, so I'm just going to use basic gray. Doesn't matter where I stamp it, just like that. And then my punch fits perfectly, obviously. That's what it's made for. Perfectly. But my paper's a little small. I can get it. I can do it. Okay, so you know what I need? I need a little arm. I don't want to. I just want to cut it. I want to be impatient. There we go. Got it. Okay, perfect. All right, so you can punch that out, and we can stamp the stems on it and color it, and here's what the card I made looks like with that. So I stamp the stems, and right here you're like, okay, there's no stems there. Yeah, but that's where our ribbon goes. So we don't have to worry about how there's kind of this gap. We're going to stick a little ribbon, little bow in Magenta Madness right on top of that spot, so you're not even going to notice. See, we don't have to make it all look real. We don't have to have it be real. We just have to make it look kind of realistic. All right, so let's go ahead and stick this on. We'll grab some scissors. I want it a little bit smaller. Is Jenny on tonight? She loves bows. Just kidding. She does not like bows at all. Okay, so when I stick this here, all of a sudden, we cannot see that gap. And that's what we want to do, using a glue dot. Okay, the glue dots now are on the outside, if you know what I mean by that. They're not on the inside, they're on this outside piece, so I'm a little thrown off by that. All right, I'm going to stick that on there. Pardon?
That was the answer.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I popped up the jar. I stamped the leaves or the stems right on the jar and then just colored it in Pool Party. Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? What if we took our jar, I'm not going to make a whole card here, but I want to show you. What if we took our jar and, oh, we don't need to stamp it. We're going to punch out the jar, space. Let's go this way. I'm going to punch out the jar. And if I took window sheets, if I took a piece of window sheet and put it here behind it, it's going to look like a window. It's going to look more like a jar. And I could, if I wanted to, I could put this behind it. I could punch the jar in a different color and put it behind it. That doesn't, I mean, that makes it look like glass, right? So you get a little bit of that. Or the other thing I can do is I can use one of our little mason jar shaker domes. Now, I did not see these in the new catalog, but they are available now. And here's how these work. So you've got your jar, and it's got a little piece on the front. We're just gonna peel that up. Just grab that off of there. There we go. So we've got this. We just pull that off and stick it right through. You know what we want to do first, though. We've got to stamp. Ha ha ha. Good save, Lisa. Thank you very much. We need to stamp it because otherwise what's going to happen is we won't have space to stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this set of flowers, just sort of different one, so you can see a different set of flowers on there. And I'm going to use that basic gray. I kind of like that instead of black. It's just a little softer. Brown is also nice. All right, let's go ahead and stamp that right there. There we go. Perfect. And then this could go here. Now, we put this on a card, and where is the rest of it? Looks empty. Well, that doesn't work, right? We can't do that because where's the rest of it? Well, let's stamp it on here. We'll go ahead and stamp. I'm going to stamp in Mossy Meadow this time instead of my favorite color, Granny Apple Green. Stamp on Mossy Meadow. I'm going to go all the way to the top this time because this is sitting underneath the dome like that. Okay, you could put shaker beads or things in there. Let's go ahead and color this. Mix around our, look at that, how nice. Any of you who saw it the other night, I was like, why is it not mixing? I know it does it. And then I'm just going to add water. And maybe I don't want my water to go all the way to the top. Maybe I just want my water to go to here. Doesn't have to go all the way to the top. Using Pool Party, it's kind of a nice lighter blue. There we go. It actually kind of looks like water, doesn't it? So that piece could go right here. Well, now all of a sudden, doesn't it look like, get that there. Once I color the flowers, that really looks like a dome. Well, it is a dome, that's why. Okay, and I know you're thinking, well, how do you get that on there? Because it's there. Here's what I would do. I'm going to take a little piece of paper. Doesn't even matter. I'm just going to tear a little scrap. And I'm going to stick this onto here. I don't know what the official way to do this is, but this is how I do it. I'm going to stick on the jar onto this little piece of paper. And then let's take off this sticky. I just kind of slice it off. There we go. I didn't quite get it. Let's get it again. My take-up pick must be somewhere else. I would normally use that. All right, there we go. So remember, you save about $4 when you order it as a bundle. Okay, now I can see where it's going to be. I want to put that right on top of there, like that. There we go. And then I could put it here, and I could color my flowers, and it would look oh so pretty. I see one little piece sticking out here, so I'm just going to trim that and make it a little bit shorter. I don't need that whole thing there. The other side looks good. Isn't that would be so pretty, and you can put a little ribbon on it, but I love the dome. Even more fun, like I said, if you put a little shaker or something inside. So you can use it like this. You can use it just as a jar. The last way you could use it if you wanted to is you can stamp I'm going to use the little jar. Here it is. I'm going to use this little jar. You could stamp it, what? On this side. This side is flat. This side has texture. So if I wanted to, I don't want the little lines that kind of show like it has water, I would just stick it down like that. And I don't know if I'd want it all gray, but that's okay. I'm going to do it in green. I'll do green. I don't really want a gray pot. To me, that is not very attractive. So I'm going to use my mat again and make sure it's really well inked up and stamp. And I could have that be my vase. Let's go ahead and just add some flowers just because we can. There's going to be a big bouquet of flowers coming out of that little, there we go. And it's pretty. And again, you just throw on a little bow and that takes care of that little spot. Isn't that fun? So that's the other side. When you see a stamp set that has this, so a gray and a little design and then a solid, it's just the other side. And it, obviously it's a two-step stamp. We could even lean the little jar lid on it, whatever. So that's what I want to show you. This jar of flowers is so pretty. I'm going to close up my inks so I don't set my arm in them or anything. It's so pretty. So here's some of we didn't finish coloring that one, but that's okay. And here's this one.
Diane said the vintage ball jars are light blue, so that would be a good color.
Oh, yeah. I even, friends, took it one time. I colored the jar, and on white, and then I stuffed it in here. So I used Crystal Effects to like stuff it in here. I'll show you on one other jar. On this, I colored this, and then I kind of squished it actually all the way in the jar, like that. So it actually bowed out, and that looks really cool too. So, all right, and here's our main card that I was showing you, the little stand-up card. So pretty. I love it. So pretty. All right, don't forget, if you want to sign up for Take It Up a Notch, remember this fun little box is what you're going to get in the mail. And you're going to be like, whoa, Step It Up came. And you open it up, and inside are some fun things and product, because with Take It Up Notch you get $10 worth of product and your directions and everything and your cards to make in the box. Isn't that fun? A little bit more fun than an envelope. And these are the cards. Oh, do you recognize that? That's our jar of flowers. So pretty. So here's one card for Take It Up a Notch. Here's our other one. And you don't have to have these stamps. You can use whatever stamps you have handy. And here's the other one. This one, I say this probably every time because this is new to me, this one. I love this little boing boing. So, and this one kind of stands up. Little, I don't know, kind of bounces. All right, so that is Take It Up a Notch. You do need to register by tonight so that we can order your free product and get it out to you. And if you want to throw on any of these mason jars, or if you want to order any of these, I would order those right away. All right, friends, that is everything. Am I missing anything, Dave?
Diane wanted to know if you could ink or stamp the inside of the jar.
I don't think that would be possible.
Could you paint it then?
You maybe could paint it. You cannot stamp in here because it's curved. Maybe, let's see. Let's try with this one.
She said ink or stamp.
Ink or stamp.
Or paint.
Well, these markers aren't going to show up because it's clear. So that's not going to show up. I just don't think so. Maybe you could paint with acrylic paint. You could maybe paint inside there and let it dry. That'd be super cool. That's a great idea. Yeah, good thinking. Of course, Deb, you love the sunflower card because we love sunflowers, right? All right, guys, thanks for joining me on this Monday night. Here in Minnesota, it's rainy and chilly. But thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for Wonder Wednesday. But we got to go because we got to finish getting your catalogs in the mail. All right, friends, we'll see you Wednesday. Bye.